Have you ever finished a brow pattern sketch and just felt like something's off, but you can't put your finger on it? That's exactly where a lot of artists get stuck. Now, in my Hyperrealism Brows Mastery program, every week I review each artist's pattern sketches on paper or their skin work so they can see where they're going, what they're doing well, but also where they can make improvements, so they can stop second guessing themselves and make progress every single week. In the next video, you're going to see one of these review sessions that I do. Happens every week for every artist. You'll see how I break things down in detail so that you can start perhaps noticing these patterns in your own work and start making your own improvements. And if you want this level of feedback on your own work, you can always come and join us in the group. Click the link below and we'll happily have you in there. But for now, let's get stuck into the review session. What I say to everybody, when you start working on patterns, just focus on one. Okay, so let's just focus on, I'm assuming this is the high spine. Let's just focus on the high spine for now. Don't try and do the low, don't try and do the medium. Let's just get good at one pattern and then we can move on to the rest. It's going to be much easier for you that way. Let's do pink. Okay, so let's just have a look at your high spine. Let's just start there. So I'm looking at the symmetry, and the symmetry's off. And the reason the symmetry's off is because you can see on your right side, you've gone, the spine's quite low. And then on here, like it's a little bit higher. So when we're doing the sketch on the client, we have to make sure that that spine is exactly in the right position, because even if your sketch is, your shape is perfectly symmetrical, you know, the height's great, the underside, everything's great. If you do one spine that's lower and then one spine higher, after you've finished, the brows will look wonky, even if they are not, because the pattern isn't right. So that's why, the spine positioning is crucial. In terms of the pattern, so on the tail, this isn't quite right. You've got lots of crossed over strokes there. Keep it simple. So you've got you're not doing the primary, secondary, tertiary correctly. All right, let's talk through it. So this is your spine, okay? And then you've got your, let me do that again. So this is why I want you to just work on one pattern, because you're going to confuse yourself. So just let's focus on the high spine only for the next couple of weeks. Spine, primary stroke is, let's say, I can't tell which are your primary strokes and which is your, all right, so I'm going to just say that this is a primary stroke, and then you've got one here, and then you've got one here, okay? Now what I see is you've got a random stroke here, a random one here, and a random one there. I don't want to see that. If you're just guessing where the strokes are going, when you start tattooing the skin, you're going to be in real trouble, because you're not going to know how to do the sketch, and then you're going to be confused as to when you do your first pass. You'll be like, oh, where's the stroke? You know, you wipe and you're like, oh, I don't understand the pattern. I've got a random stroke here. I don't understand where, you know, you're just going to really confuse yourself. So that's why we have a very rigorous pattern of primary strokes. Oh, right. Let me put that other one back in. Yeah, so primary strokes, and then just make it really clear that you've got a secondary stroke here, secondary stroke here, and then you do your tertiary strokes. Tertiary strokes come off the secondary strokes, okay? So that it's just very clear, and you do that across the whole brow. And then when you wipe or you do your touch-up, you know exactly where the stroke should be, because you've not just randomly put strokes in there, all right? So you have to follow a pattern. So I think go back to the drawing board, because over here again, oh, here's a little bit better. So I can see here, you've given it a go. So you've got primary stroke here, primary stroke here. Then it looks like you've done a secondary stroke here, and then your tertiary stroke here. You're close, that's not quite right. What you need to do is the secondary, always needs to come off the primary, okay? Not the spine, not from up here. and then the tertiary comes off here. So you're close on that side, but not quite right. So go back to the drawing, go back to the pattern practice lesson. For now, ignore the low spine, ignore the medium spine. Next week, I just want you to send me a revised sketch of the high spine, all right? I hope you found that helpful. If you've got any questions on the video, post them in the comments below and I'll respond. But also, if you want this level of feedback on your own work, come and join us in the Hyperrealism Browse Mastery program. There's a link in the description below where you can join. Hope to see you in there.